Okay, guys, welcome back to another episode, which hopefully will be our second last episode of our Christmas series game, because it's no longer Christmas. We actually want to get this game finished, hopefully in the next two videos that we do. So there's not much left to do. Well, I kind of changed the plan for this game. We're going to leave it how it is, but now we are going to jump back into it and introduce a a difficulty level to the game. So when you start off in the game, you're going to be presented with a menu. We're going to go and add that in probably today, and then what you want to do, or what you'll have to do, is you will have to select the difficulty that you want to play the game on. And then depending on what difficulty you select, you will the game will actually change. Like, so for example, the speed might change of how often and how fast the pop-ups of the characters, I think they're called, or the targets, how fast they pop up into the game. So you'll have less time between each pop-up to click on the target. If I can remember, it's been a while. In the previous episode, we started, well, I don't know if we started or if we just carried on working on the art of the game. I see the art it's not the best, but and like I said, we want to get back to our Tetris games, and we also need to get back to our Slab Stacker game, because I want to finish that. I completely forgot about that game. But today we are going to go into our game and jump into making the menu for the game so that we can introduce a difficulty to the game. So let's jump straight into it over here. Hopefully everything works well and the same way it did before, because I haven't used this since about Christmas. So let's see. Let's go and add in a completely new scene. So in our scenes, let's go and create a new scene. This is going to be called our start scene. So that's going to be called our starting scene, and then in here let's go and open that up. So in the scene we are going to just have a menu that's going to be presented to the player, and then what you'll have to do is you'll have to select easy, medium or hard. So let's go and do that now. So first of all, we want to add in an image. So let's go into our scene view here so we can see what that is. So double click on our canvas. So here's our picture. So now we want to scale this up so that it fits our entire canvas, so that we can replace that with a image. For now, I don't know if we will change it, but for now let's go and choose that one as our our background image for our menu. We probably will change it maybe in the next episode when I have time to come up with a different background, I guess. But for now, let's go and add in 3 buttons, because that's all we want. Actually, we'll add in 4 buttons just so that you can exit the game. So the first button, well, we're going to customize the first button, and then we will just we will just copy it and replace it or duplicate it multiple times, so that we don't have to customize the same button over and over again. So this first one is going to be called easy. We need to make this a little bit bigger, so let's go and click on the button so it makes the entire button bigger, and then we want to put this in the middle, so let's go and do that again. Rather, instead of calling this easy, we will call this medium, because the medium button is obviously going to be between the easy and hard. So if we put it as medium, then we don't really have to move it. So let's go and change the size to about 30 maybe. Let's go and try 35. Yeah, we'll leave it at 35. So let's go and change the color of the button. What color do we want? Let's see, red, blue. We could probably use, do we have an image for our buttons? We could probably use something from there. I don't think so, because I don't think we've added anything into this this game. Let's try this one. Actually, yeah, let's use that. That could work well. So for our text, we shall change the color of it to white. So we'll change that to white. I don't know if we need to make this bold. Probably it'll probably look better. So that something like that. I don't really know if that looks good. I mean, that looks terrible, but you know what, it will do. So I want to shift the text down a little bit. So let's go and move that. I'm going to bring this over here so that we can see what it looks like. Shift that way a little bit, so it's in the middle. So I'm going to bring the text, only the text, down a little bit, so that's kind of in the middle of this dark background, brownish color. So we'll leave that like that. Let's try and make the text like a yellow color maybe. What does that look like? I don't know if I like that. Red, pink, purple, medium, green. Now, you know what, we'll leave it as white for now. We might change it later on, but okay, so that's our medium button. We'll go and copy this and paste it another 2 times. We'll put the first one up at the top, and this will be our easy button. Oh, I don't know why I retyped button. So we'll save that like that. All we need to do now is change the text of medium to easy. The next one we'll go and rename to our medium button, and then the third one we will change it from button 2 to hard button. So we also need to change the text of a hard button to say hard, like that. Okay, so the hard button we want to move down probably somewhere there, and then the easy one we want to move up to probably somewhere over there. -1, 3, so this needs to be at 1, 1, 1, 3, like that. So there's equal distance between them. So that's fine for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select all the buttons quick, and I'm going to move it, all of them, down a little bit, just in case we want to add like a title at the top. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to copy and paste the hard button again, and I'm going to rename this to exit button. So this button is going to be the button that will allow the user to actually close the game, depending on, not that we'll ever need it, but we will go and make it anyway. So this was going to be exit, like that, and then we can go and shift that down a little bit. We'll put this probably at the bottom somewhere, like that, and then we will probably give it like a little reddish tint, maybe like a dark red, like this kind of. That looks fine. Okay, so that, I mean, it's not the best, but it will do for now. Like I said, I really want to move on to the other games which are more important. We just did this as a fun little festive Christmas game to match this season. So let us go and save that. Now we need to go and create another script so that we can make these buttons work. I'm try and get that right. So new behavior script we will change to menu script, like that. We will double click on that, and then we don't really need all of these, I don't think. What we want in here is a public void. This is going to be easy, and then I'm gonna copy and paste this 4 times. This is gonna be medium. That looks wrong. Anyway, medium, and this is going to be hard, and then same for this is going to be exit. So in the exit method, we can simply go and say application dot quit. That's the one. So that will simply quit our application whenever the button is pressed. The other thing we want to do is we want to import our scene manager. So let's go and say scene management. So this will allow us to call the scene where the actual game is played. So here we can go and say scene manager.load scene, and then we will pass in the game global.game scene. We will need to make this because I don't think that exists. No, it doesn't. So we'll copy that, and obviously when we play each level we need the game scene to load, so we'll go and paste that in all of them. The next thing we need to do is we need to go and create this. So let's go to our global here, and we will, this is global, yeah. So float into, okay, so we need some strings. Here we can say public static this is going to be a string. This is going to be our global what is a global? No, that's not going to be global. This is going to be our game scene. That's what it is. Game scene is going to be equal to, I think, what is our game scene called? It is called our sample scene. So we will name that sample scene for now. We don't really need to change it, but it's probably better practice if we do. So we might do that later on. So let's go to, where is it? Where were we? We were in our menu script. That's where it is. So that's fine. All those errors are gone now because now our global.game scene string actually exists. So the next thing we want to do, you see in our global class here, we should have a pop-up speed here, which is 20. So whatever our, actually that's not what we want to change. We want to change the delay. So let's go and see where's where we pop them up. So instantiate target object. So in here, instantiate target object. This is where it chooses the level. So global order in there, yeah. So okay. So it picks a random level. There, that's fine. And then we need to tell it to go faster or slower depending on the level. So obviously if you're on the easier level, the time between the pop-ups is going to be longer, whereas if you're in a harder level, the time between them is going to be a lot slower or a lot faster. So we need to find where we did this. So move target, that's not what we want. I haven't looked at this code for a long time, so let's try and find where this is. So timer plus equals time dot delta time. Okay, so this is where we time between the between the pop-ups. So we might have to do something here. So we might have to go and cut this out and go and put it into our, so that's a float, so we will get rid of that and put this over here by our delay, just because it's another delay. But we also need to make this a public static float timer. So we'll save that and go back into here, and now instead of having timer, we can go and say global dot timer. So that should fix that. So what's the time? Okay, so we've still got a little bit of time. So let's see. First of all, we need to go and make sure that this works. So let's go and drag in these objects. So in our starting scene here, we need to have a empty game object, and this is going to be called our menu manager without that slash, whatever that is. And then we are going to add our what is it called? Our menu script. Menu script. Why can't we put that on? Can we drag it on? Menu script, drag that onto there. Can't add script component menu script because the script class cannot be found. What is it named? Is it named different? Menu script dots. Yeah. What? Let's go and create this as menu script. So that should solve that issue. So if we save that like that, we should now be able to find that. So on our menu manager game object, we can go and add in our menu script onto that. So now in our canvas on our buttons, we are going to do the same thing for all of our buttons. So we will go and add in an on-click event here, and we will drag in our menu manager into our placeholder thingy there. And then for the function, we need to select only one because they're all going to have different functions. So the easy button is obviously going to call the easy function. The medium button will call the medium button, which is there. The hard button is obviously going to call the hard one. And again, which the last one is the exit button, which is obviously going to be calling the exit button. Okay, that's fine. So now we need to well, let's play this and see if it works. So here's our game scene. So let's go and press easy. So we do have we don't have any errors, and you can see our game is currently working. Everything's moving. We still get points whenever we hit on a target. We also miss them and we don't get any points. What we also need to do probably in the next episode is try and figure out a way to end the game, because this game just goes on forever. So we might have to add in like a time interval or something, or timer, so that you can try and get as many as you can in a certain time. Or we'll just leave it. I don't know. You can play forever until we'll probably add in like an exit button or stop the game button. I don't know. We'll see what we want to do. But I think mainly because mainly because we haven't, or at least I haven't looked at this game for a long time, since probably Christmas. I'm going to go back into the code and try and figure out how to get the timer interval to increase or decrease depending on which level you're playing, and then we will do that in the next episode. So that is it for today. It's nice to be back, so hopefully you guys will enjoy these videos again. The new year is going to be great. We are going to carry on working with our Tetris game, because I want to try and finish that, because that is quite an awesome game. It'll be even better if we can finish it, which we will. And then we also need to get back onto our slab stacker game, because we had a little bit of a bug with that I completely forgot about and just put it to a side. But it's not a long game at all, so it should only take about 3 episodes or 4 episodes maybe. So we'll go and get that done straight after our Tetris game. But that's it for today's episode, so thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you in the next video. So goodbye.